What's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to Blind Intelligence, where the rules, the rights, and the responsibilities put you back in control. It's not legal advice. I don't offer legal advice. If you want legal advice, I suggest you find yourself a competent professional. And by all means, please be advised. What I'm about to say here is strictly for education and information purposes only. Alright, the views and opinions of me, Raphael Bird, does not reflect any of the views and opinions of any platform that hosts Blind Intelligence. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. In today's video, we just going to merely just have a conversation, because I merely want to talk about these. It's going to be a lot of things I'm going to talk about. It's not just going to be just about debts and credits and credit cards and things like that. We're just going to have a life conversation. We're going to have a conversation, right? So, because it seems to me that I get a lot of questions being asked. Well, not me per se, me, but I read a lot of questions because I go into the Facebook chat rooms and I look at a lot of questions about these debt junk buyers, portfolio recovery for one of them, middling funding, and people, all these different types. You know, these debt junk buyers. I mean, look. Let me tell you something. Folks gonna do what they want to do. They gonna do exactly what they want to do, regardless to whether they in business, whether they scamming or they not scamming. They gonna do what they want to do. And that's the reason why I was telling somebody, I don't know who it was in the chat room. They were talking about portfolio recovery. Sent them a summons in the mail, this, that, whatever. Didn't know what to do and stuff like that. Come on, man. Let me tell you something. These folks are smart. You know what I'm saying? And somebody was saying, well, they're probably going to send another servicer, subsidiary servicer, but they're going to be working for portfolio recovery. Well, you ain't got a contract with them. They can do whatever they want to do. They can do whatever they want to do. They can see all the summonses in the world. But you're going to have to answer it. I don't know no portfolio recovery and write you an affidavit. Block and deny. Write you and you ain't got no contract with them. I don't know portfolio recovery. They got the wrong person. They got the wrong person. Maybe my consumer report was caught up in the mix. Nah, but I'm writing an affidavit because you didn't put. Come on, man, I ain't trying to hit. They ain't finna catch me out there. I promise you that. They not. They're not finna catch me out there. I don't give a ding dong what they. I don't care. I didn't sign a contract with them. You know what I'm saying? In my last video, I talked about debt junk buyers and these debt collectors and the difference between them two. But I'm saying, but these are debt junk buyers we talking about. I mean, come on, B. Nah. You gotta stop. You gotta stop being afraid. That's number one. Once you stop being afraid, then you know who the hell you talking to. You know what I'm saying? I know who I'm talking to. I know what the statutes and limitations of my law is. I know what the consumer law and what it applies to. I know what the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act applies to. I know what the Fair Credit Reporting Act applies to. I know what Truth in Lending applies to. I know what all of it applies to. I know what the Uniform Commercial Code applies to. So that's this the whole real reason. Nobody want to read anything. Nobody want to commit to memory anything. You know what I'm saying? I myself am a victim of that. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to commit things to memory. If I don't commit the entire passage to memory, oh, you're gonna get the clause. You're going to get the beginning of it. You're going to get the beginning of the caption. or like 15 USC 1692G validation. Now, we gonna talk about that because but I can expound on it because I know what that is. See what I'm saying? Or 15 USC 1681B, permissible purpose. Oh man, you gotta commit it to memory. You gotta commit it to memory for your case. You need to, or Taylor, you gotta commit it to memory for your case. If you gotta commit it to memory, then commit it to memory. Because I guarantee you're gonna come right back. You're gonna come back around it. If not, you're gonna know somebody that's gonna be dealing with it. And you'll be able to help them. Nah, man, nah. Now nobody wanna read nothing. Everybody go straight to that damn internet. They go straight to the internet when they need to be going to the book. Play with it. You go to the internet when you need to be going to the book, trying to find an answer from somebody who's going to give it to you, and you got all these different types of answers coming at you. How you going to make a determination when you don't read nothing? How you going to make discernment when you don't read nothing? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Because I'm looking at it like this. Let me say this. Check this out. Watch this. If you got 4 or 5 people saying the same thing, then you know it's true. They don't know each other. They're saying this. That's how you make it. That's how you make your determination to make your decision on how you gonna move. But if you on there willy nilly and somebody dropping 4 or 5 different answers, how you gonna make it? How that's gonna work for you? Go to the book where you know something has been fact checked. You know what I'm saying? You want to go to a book where it's been fact checked. Most books are fact checked. Mostly all books are fact checked. You gotta really pay attention. You know what I'm saying? And let me say something. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all. Let me tell you something about people. People tend to make comments about, other people's comments and whatever. I remember looking. I was looking at a post. Somebody made something on Douglas Riddle acceptance for value content, and the person was making up, talking about, some 1099, this, that, whatever, and somebody said that's that sovereign citizen mess. You know what I'm saying? Let me explain something about that. I'm gonna say this much. I don't know anything about those processes. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nada. Zippo. Zilch. Right? But one process that I do know of, and that's the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act and the Fair Credit Reporting Act. I've sent letters to people. I've got things removed. I know there is pushback with that. If you just start with that, you'll get a grasp, understanding on the pushbacks and how to talk to these people. One size don't fit all. But if you put it in the right text, the right context, it will. Guarantee you. They will remove it. So remember that. Moving forward. You're going to get some pushback. You're going to get pushback anywhere you go. You get pushback at the doctor's office. The doctor's office, you'll go to the doctor's office and they'll tell you, if you got something coming up, let's say you're a smoker, and they say, well, you need to quit smoking for a while. And then the doctor tells you, then the clerk, then somebody tells you, well, because you've been smoking or drinking or whatever, then, we can't, we can't, perform no surgery on you. But then you go somewhere else, they tell you something different. See, you won't get that type of pushback. You know what I'm saying? Or you go to, let's say you go to like some type of, case in point, we'll give you an example. Like, let's say you go to the welfare center and try to get some food stamps. And they got this pay, and they tell you to bring in this paperwork, that paperwork, this paperwork, that paperwork, this paperwork. And then you bring it all in. And then they tell you, well, we can't help you. Why? Because you're missing a piece of paper. Well, you didn't say that. I brought in everything that's on this document. That's how I'm telling you, you're going to get that kind of pushback. See, it's pushback. And you got to know how to deal with it. That's all it is. Everybody's, I'm telling you, you're going to get pushback. You'll get pushback at the banks. You go to the banks, you got your ducks in a row, you got your paperwork right and everything like that. They try everything in their power to give you pushback. I'm telling you, they'll try everything in their power. They're looking to give you pushback. Don't know. Let me tell you something. They don't give you no test for your pass. They give you a test to fail. And that's for school, that's for anywhere. They don't give you a test to pass, they give you a test to fail. So they can give you pushback. Maybe you ain't studied enough. You need to, you know what I'm saying? No. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So you're going to get pushback. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's one thing I do know. Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, TILA, and the Fair Credit Reporting Act. I deal with that all the time. I did it with mine. Yo, remove this personal information. Don't give me no pushback. Because if you give me pushback, then we're gonna go somewhere else. But how you word things and how you word things explained and how you come in and what your intent is, you know what I'm saying? You coming in good faith. Come on, B. They're gonna adhere to what you're saying. And if you got it worded right. You know what I'm saying? So nah. But a lot of you people out here, y'all just want somebody, y'all hire somebody like myself to come in and pass paper and shuffle paperwork and thinking you gonna get those deletions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, run that for me. I got a guy right now who was supposed to bringing me two. I got one of his credit reports. He's supposed to be bringing me the other. I understand life be lifing, but how bad do you want it? How bad do you want that stuff to be removed off your consumer reports? See, that's the question. I always ask my consumers, anytime when they come to me with some paperwork, how bad do you want this off your report? Because if you want this off your report, you're going to do exactly what I tell you to do. Bring me all your consumer reports. And we're going to write it, we're going to get it all written off. We're going to get that personal information off your consumer reports. First thing. That's what you need to be doing. But how many of them are going to do that? They ain't going to read nothing. They want you to do it for them. I'll just pay you to do it. And that's why they get charged out the yin yang. They get charged out the yin yang because, number one, they don't care about the law. They don't care about CROA. You honestly think they care about CROA? If they care that much about CROA, they do it themselves. I care about CROA. I don't want you to willy-nilly give me your consumer report without your permission. I want to get this on document. That covers my tail. I ain't supposed to have your report without your permission. I'm going to get your blue wet ink signature, and I'm going to give you a copy. I'm going to have the original, you're going to have the copy. I'm covering myself. This is my business we talking about here. But they don't care. They'll come free willy-nilly. Yo, bro, here. Yo. Let me know what you come up with. You know what I'm saying? No. Nah, bro. Step yourself in here. Sign this paperwork. Sign this paperwork. I just notarized it. Sign it. I ain't playing with them. I ain't playing with them. We don't play them games. But what I'm saying is, people, you got to start reading. You got to do better than what you're doing, man. I'm telling you, if you don't do better than what you're doing, you're going to stay stuck. You're going to be stuck like truck in a pickup truck. You know what I'm saying? Down on your luck. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm telling you. Look, for me, I've dealt with this. Bro, I had to file bankruptcy. I had to file bankruptcy, which I should have never had filed. I should have never filed bankruptcy. But I didn't have nobody to tell me about how these creditors move. Not these creditors, but these debt collectors move. Because the debt collectors sometimes be tied in with the creditors. You know what I'm saying? And because they have what's called an in-house debt collector. And they call you all times of night, harassing you, stressing you out. I'm telling you, the personal loan companies, Tower Loan and all them folks, man, they'll stress you to death. I'm telling you, you be 20 years old with gray hair, Snow White, real talk with them. They're gonna stress you till you Snow White. I wouldn't let them do it to me. No way. Not at all. Because the thing about it is, you have to know what the law is. And I learned the law. I made myself sit down and read. I made myself sit down. The first 2 books I got was the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, because I wanted to know. And I wanted to know what my rights, what is my rights? What options do I have here? How can I fight these folks? But let me say this. Hell, that was after I filed bankruptcy. I said, forget it. Let me just go file bankruptcy and get them off my back. You know why? Because I was listening to somebody who did not know either. See? Blind leading the blind. And I know I'm physically totally blind. But the person who led me was physically totally sighted. But he still was blind. But they still was blind. Man, you need to go and file you some big, get your little bread, file your little bankruptcy, be through with that crap. And I'm listening to it because I'm thinking that it was the right thing to do. But I'm not understanding what the law was because I didn't read anything. Man, let me tell you something. And I'm going to be straight up transparent here. I ain't started reading thick books, like thick books, until I got blind. I was maybe about 10 years ago. Maybe about 10 years ago. It's when I started reading books, thick books. Maybe 10 years ago. And that's a shame. But that's what you get. I get everything I deserve. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said I don't want you to fall in the same trap. We're not reading nothing. And then when you find out, you be like, damn, why I didn't know that before? Damn, I wish somebody would have told me. No, you should have read something. You have to, it's called doing the due diligence. You doing your due diligence to get yourself up and read. On this side of my wall, I got a whole bookshelf full of books. A whole bookshelf. Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, TILA, Fair Credit Reporting Act. I got consumer law in my other office. I'm reading. Man, listen. I'm not holding back, baby. I'm trying to read all the information that I can read, so I can fight all the fights that I can fight. Because I don't want nobody trying to get over on me at all. You know what I'm saying? these attorneys, they all try to get over on you because they don't think you know. They don't think you know what estoppel is. You know what I'm saying? They don't know. They don't think you know what reliance is. That's contract law. They don't know. They don't think you know what all that is. You know what I'm saying? That's called. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So let's keep that. So only thing I'm telling you, debtor. I'm telling you this here, debtor. Know what your rights are. Know what your rights are. Because I'm going to tell you something. Them folks know. But they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you until you give them some bread. And then they're only going to tell you what they want you to know. But when you open up that book, you're going to learn everything that you need to know. Plus more. You're going to learn stuff that you should have known. Because you're going to learn stuff that you're going to encounter later on down the line. You're like, oh, okay, I know what that's about. And you're going to be able to hit it smack dead on the head. So, I'm telling you, look, let me tell you something. Leave me a comment, please. Yo, because I'm going to tell you something. Ain't nobody talking about this. I don't see nobody talking. Everybody talking about the consumer law. They go into the details of it, which is not a problem with that. Everybody need that side. But I'm spinning to you from just on the conversational side about credits and debts. You know what I'm saying? About your, like, for example, like your credit cards. Like, you don't know, do you know what the 70-30 rule is? I didn't even know about the 70-30 rule. But nah, nobody want to adhere to it. Oh, I got things to do. What? Credit is not a check. That's not a check. They think it's an income tax check. It's not. Credit is to be leveraged. 70-30. You could have 10 credit cards, but you better not go over the 30%. Me, personally, I ain't going over 20%. And I'm going to look within and everything got a budget. If you got a credit card, you should have a budget. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. I got a budget for this. I got a budget. Okay, let's talk about it for like it's like you got a budget for food. You got a budget for clothes. You got a budget for cleaning supplies. You got a budget for pesticides. You got a budget for your rent or mortgage. You got a budget for your utilities, right? The rent, mortgage, utilities probably gonna go together, but you got a budget for that, right? So let's say, for example, you got all them budgets. You got a credit card. That's how your credit card should be. Say all of those are credit cards. That's how they should be. Budget for all of them. You know exactly how much you gonna spend. You know exactly how much you gonna spend. That's what I'm telling you. And what you spending it on. Not saying, let me get this credit card and use this credit card, and I'll have this credit card for backup. If this credit card don't work, then I'll swipe this one. Oh man, you crazy. You gotta change your thinking. That is not what they're for. Let me use this credit card. Let me use this credit card in case I max this out. You should never have to max this out. This credit card should even affiliate with the other credit card. None of your credit cards should affiliate with each other. You should not be spending your bread like that. Ever. Ever. If you spending your money, if you spending your credit cards like that, telling you, you're always gonna be in trouble. You're gonna always be trouble. Somebody always gonna be sending you letters, wanting to see you. Wanting to see you, gonna always be in court. I think between I might be wrong, but I'm saying between domestic violence and credit cards, and credit card debt and debt, I think that's those are the. I don't know which one's got the most court cases. I wonder who got the most court cases. I'm gonna ask the judge. The judge, when I talk to him, it's a judge that be down here where I live. You know what I'm saying? That I kind of conversate with. You know what I'm saying? When I be at these community meetings, he come in whatever, and he be sitting in. So I cop a squat. He might cop a squat beside me or whatever, and me and him be chopping it up anyway. But I'm gonna chop it up with him. One day, me and him gonna talk. I'm gonna ask him like, which one you think between, credit card debt and domestic violence? What you think got the most cases? I mean, cause people are hey, look, listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. These credit cards ain't no joke. It's not what you think it's for. It's not for you to go out willy-nilly. See, let me tell you something. This is what I think. I think like the rich white women started that mess. They started that mess. Going to Bloomingdale's and Macy's and stuff, and like their husbands give them these cards, and they just go on a shopping spree. I do what I want, and then their husbands get the bill and they pay it off because they got that bread. And I think they started that mess. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what credit cards are for. It's not. It looks attractive when they do it. Because they're coming out with these shopping bags. They're looking all cute and fine and everything. You know what I'm saying? But that is not what credit cards is for. Oh, I got an emergency. Man, no. Then they got parents giving a credit card to their children, going to college. And it's just, they just willy-nilly. That's not what it's for. You wouldn't even get no credit card from me. No way. None of my kids. No. I'm not. No. No. You don't understand what credit card is for. That's not what it's for. You will not get a credit card. Ever. Never get a credit. You get a credit card, get one on your own. I'm going to teach you what it means. But if you decide to go out there and do what you want to do, that's on you. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Don't call me asking me about nothing. Because you was told. Simple as that. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. You was told. You know what I'm saying? I try to stay on top of this game. But see, nobody want to listen. So I stay to myself. That's why I come on this podcast, Blind Intelligence, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I want to be able to help somebody out there. And like I said, you gotta, I'm telling you, you cannot allow your fears. I was just reading a book earlier. You can't let your fears of poverty blind you. You know what I'm saying? I was reading this book called by Napoleon Hill called Outwitting the Devil. And he was having a conversation with the devil. The devil told him fear. And the fear, he said poverty and death is one of his main tricks. People fear poverty, people fear death. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. That's what these credit cards is. It's like, he said, it's like I take pennies, I take coins, dang them in front of you, and then I snatch them away. Well, that's exactly what a credit card is. It's like it's like taking money, putting it in front of you, and then snatching it away because you're gonna spend the bread, but when you can't pay it back, then what? You know what I'm saying? And then here you come and talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Telling you, asking me, yo, what can I do? Well, okay, you maxed the $5,000 credit card out. You got that $5,000 loan. Now what? Because they coming at you wrong. How you know that? I don't know. How you know they coming at you wrong? Do you know the difference between the debt collector and the debt junk buyer? They coming at you wrong. Come on, man. I'm telling you straight up. I'm not finna get you out of nothing. I'm not finna get you out of nothing. There's no such thing as getting you out of anything. Oh, so you can go back and do the same thing? Please. I'm telling you, man. Yo, I'm telling you. Yo, I look at Kitchen Nightmares, and I be looking at Bar Rescue, just like the little repeats they be having on YouTube. And I'm telling you, it ain't about the bar, it ain't about the restaurant. Cause all that can be fixed. If you don't fix the people, man, they're gonna be back. It's gonna be back right where it's at. You can fix that bar up, you can fix that restaurant up to the tip-top shape, get everything brand new, state of the art. But if you don't fix the person, it's gonna go right back to where it was. Yeah, we're gonna drop some jewels today. And it's the same thing with your credit. It's the same thing. Credit leads to debt. It has nothing to do. The debt ain't got nothing to do with the creditor. The debt got to do with who? The debtor. You create that. You creating a debt because you don't want to pay it back. That's through your actions. You can either be a creditor or you can be a debtor. Which one you want to be? Because if you're a debtor, you owe everybody. But if you're a creditor, that means you're in honor. You're a creditor. You don't owe nobody. People pay you. Because see, a creditor, it entails a lot. It don't just entail you paying your bills. No. It entails that you're able to leverage your money to someone else so they can pay you back so you can be a creditor. So you can be a true creditor where people paying you. A debtor, man, nobody want to deal with no debtor. Can't get nothing. Don't nobody want to have. Don't want to have nothing. What his mentality is? Can't get nothing. Don't want to have nothing. Nobody want to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? Because you got risk. You going to the bank. Don't the bank are looking at your credit report and looking at you. Look at the credit report and looking at you. They're like, I don't know who this person is. You got, your name is John Doe, Jim Doe, Joe Doe. Which one are you? Creditor ain't like that. Creditor going to the bank. Hey, how you doing, Mr. How you doing there, Mr. Doe? You doing all right? All right. What can we get for you today? See, you get a whole new respect when you respect yourself, and that's what this is about. How many debtors have true respect for themselves? If you're a debtor, you have to ask yourself that question. Do I truly have respect for myself? Do I have respect? These are hard conversations, man. You might think I'm insulting you, but I'm not. I'm not trying to insult you, but I'm just asking you a question that you got to ask yourself sometimes. Sometimes you got to check yourself. You got to check yourself. I ain't going to be like some other folks. I ain't finna come down on nobody. You know, people talk about you this, you don't know, you just think you know. No, I ain't with that. I'm the type of person, I'm just asking hard questions. Because if you can't pay it back, you should have known that you couldn't pay it back when you took the loan. You need to know your future better than you know your present. You need to know your future better than you know your past. And you should know whether you can pay that loan back or not. You know what I'm saying? You should know how much you should know how much you're going to take. How much can I truly afford? If I can afford 1,200, guess what? I'm going to take 5. If I can afford 1,200, I'm going to take 5. Because here's the deal. Most people may not need 1,200. All they need is 4. But guess what they do? They take the 1,200 because they qualify for it. Well, and they let them tell you, well, you know you qualify for $1,200. Good, give me that. And now you're in the rut. Your interest rates then went up, and then your note is what it is not what it's because the note is not within your affordable range. Because when that clock comes back around, you be like, oh man, I got to pay this bill. Tell me I'm lying. Leave me a comment. Tell me I'm lying. You be like, oh man, I got to pay this bill. Soon as that clock come back around, you be like, boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know what I'm saying? And you might have just enough money before the month end to pay that bill. Better go pay that bill. But this is what happens when you get something that you cannot afford. You know what I'm saying? It's just the same thing like with eating. You got all this food, but you only need that much. You only need a little bit to sustain you. But yet you get hungry and like my mother used to say, your eyes get bigger than your stomach. You know what I'm saying? And you eating this food that you don't need. And that's the same thing. And that's what this is about. You people are not understanding. I mean, I'm not saying you all, everybody, but most people don't understand. When a debt collector calls you and you know you owe, well, what frame of mind are you in? What frame of mind are you in? You're in a debtor state. Well, I know I owe this debt. But now you should be in the frame of mind of understanding, who am I talking to first? Who am I talking to? Okay, who are you? Okay, all right. You need to cease and desist because I don't know who this person. I don't know who you are. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. But you know, but no. Being that you owe, you're going to adhere because you're going to think that they're trying to help you. That you want to explain your situation. What had happened was, man, come on, man. Nah. You need to know who you're talking to. And most of you don't. I'm just going to tell you straight up. Most of the people don't. Because they in debtor mode. It's like a light switch. You go from creditor to debtor. You know what I'm saying? And then when you pay it off, you stick your chest out. Paid off, I ain't got no more bills. Skipping down the street like when Joe Dirt was a little kid. You got that you got that thought in your mind? Remember how he was skipping down the street when he was a little kid? Yeah. Like he done paid the debt off. That's how you gonna be. Just keeping it a buck. Just keeping it a buck. People are not aware of what their rights are in this space. You know what I'm saying? And before you take out a loan, you need to be, that's what you need to be doing. Number one, you need to be reading Truth in Lending. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what puffing is? Do you know what puffing is? I mean, come on. It's a lot of stuff that people don't know. Like when you go to a car dealership. Do you know what puffing is? It's part of deception. And you fall for it. I guess I'm going to land my plane. Yeah, it's coming in for a land and it's over with. You know what I'm saying? I just, look, I just want to come on here and say what's up. Yo, leave me a comment. You know what I'm saying? I just want to kind of like, talk a little bit about this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's. I mean, I see a lot. I see a lot of comments people are making, especially about portfolio recovery, Midland funding, and these debt junk buyers. And it's like, for me, I'm saying to myself, why are you paying these people when you don't owe them? And they tend to always want to deny consumer law. Somebody always pulling something out their tail that consumer law doesn't work in their state. That's a federal law that supersedes any law in any state. And it's just as simple as that. But if you don't know how to use it, hey, you're gonna stay in debt. And most of the time, people don't. It don't look. It's not rocket science to knowing how to use this thing. Just write it down in your letter. They know what it means. They know what those are your magic words, and they'll back off. And they'll back off, especially on the permissible purpose. For somebody using your consumer report, man, they'll, like somebody trying to put some on your report, they'll back off. They'll remove it. Who put that there on my report? They didn't get permissible purpose, because under permissible purpose, they got to have written permission from you. And if you don't use it, if you don't know to use it, it's going to be on your credit report. It's going to be on your credit report. I use credit report and consumer report interchangeably, but it's the same thing. It's a synonym. They're going to use it. I'm telling you that it's going to remain on your report because you don't know how to use permissible purpose. Permissible purpose been there. They got to have written permission by you that they can put that on your report. But they changing that. They done changed that law now. They got to contact you now before they put it on your report. Bet you didn't know that. But that right there shouldn't even have to be put in law, because it already was written that they got to have permission. But see, the thing about it is they're breaking the law, and they're trying to make stiffer penalties on these companies. So my plane landed today. I just wanted to drop one on you. Hey, look here, we will talk to you all tomorrow. And I just want to say, I just want to come on here for a minute and drop a jewel or two. You know what I'm saying? Hey, like and share this video. You know what I'm saying? Like and share this video. Leave me a comment. You know what I'm saying? Look here. My Cash App is Foresight 718. It's FORESIGHT 718. Look here. Drop me. You know what I'm saying? Drop me something. You know what I'm saying? And hey, look here, I appreciate it. And we will talk to y'all hopefully tomorrow. If not tomorrow, it's gonna be Wednesday. Peace.